In today's video, we're going to introduce two new things to the channel. First, we're going to introduce the use of bleach. Now, bleach is used, parallel to tie-dye. It's often referred to as reverse dyeing, and there's a lot of cool things that you can do with bleach. The second thing that we're going to be introducing is a new fold. The fold is often referred to as a spider fold. You'll see that here in just a minute. But I thought as spooky season was sort of approaching, I would sort of turn the channel, the videos that I'm going to be making over the course of the next probably 3 or so, leaning into Halloween and all things spooky. So first, we're going to get this folded with the sleeve-in sleeve technique, and I will show you that right now. We're going to fold the shirt in half. Now there's two ways that you could do this. You could either just do like that, right? Just fold the shirt over the top of itself. But a common technique used in tie-dye and adjacent things is to fold one sleeve into the other sleeve. So let's do that right now. Okay, so you can see that this sleeve has just been tucked into the other one. The hems on the bottom of the sleeve are lined up, and now it's just a matter of sort of shaking it out and making it nice and flat. Okay, so the spider fold. Now, this is very similar to just your standard spiral, but when the shirt starts the spiral folded in half like this, you're going to get a sort of a pattern where the swirls come down and meet at the bottom, and that looks sort of like a spider. So what we're going to do next is we're going to twist this guy up. I am going to choose the middle of the spider to be about an inch or so below the armpit line, so something like right here. And we're just going to grab it and start doing a spiral, just like you would if you were grabbing the middle of the shirt. This looks pretty good. In fact, it's nearly indiscernible from what a normal spiral would have looked like if it was already done, but the shirt is folded in half. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this onto a setup where we can talk about the bleach, just to spare my table, make it this just a little bit cleaner. So this is the setup that I've been using when I'm doing tie-dye onto shirts using liquid dye, and I'm also going to use it for bleach dye. And I thought I'd point something out in case you guys are interested in the inside baseball of my setup. So what I have here is I have a tote lid that's plastic. I cover it with a white towel just to catch any of the drips, and then I have a rack just to keep the project elevated. So that's what's under here. This was all my wife's idea, and I love it because I'm sort of, as much as I love doing this, I really like to keep it as unmessy as possible. So let's talk about the next step. Bleach. This is a 50-50 bleach to water solution. You'll see some people say 75-25. I thought this was a safe bet for this first one. So I'm going to put some gloves on, and then we're going to just apply bleach to one whole side of this. So there's nothing finicky, nothing difficult. It's literally just one half of the shirt is going to be covered in bleach. And then I'm going to do a time lapse. I think we're going to let it sit for about 20 minutes. That seems to be kind of the consensus about how long to let this sit before we go on to the next step, which we'll talk about afterwards. So how much bleach you use here is going to dictate how much orange you get in this shirt. So when the bleach goes down over the course of time, this is going to turn orange, and I think that sort of makes it Halloween appropriate. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to put bleach on this. The more bleach you put on, the more orange there's going to be, less black, and vice versa. So you can sort of decide how much you like after you've done one of these on your own. Oh, also a quick disclaimer, this stinks, so it's probably in your best interest to open up some windows. And it is just that simple. You can actually see that it's already starting to turn just a little bit orange. It might not be so obvious on the video, but it's real obvious to me. So next we're going to do maybe a 15 or 20 minute time lapse. Okay, well, I hope that time lapse turned out good. You can see it has turned orange. There's a next step. We need to neutralize this bleach before we can do a rinse out and then pop it open. So the only other thing you need in this whole process besides bleach is hydrogen peroxide. So I'm going to make a bath for this to sit in for about 20 minutes. It is 9 cups of water to 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide, and we're just going to let that sit in that bath for about 20 minutes, and then I think I'll probably just do a rinse out and then bring it back to the table for the reveal. Okay, here we are. So I was thinking as I was preparing for this video, there's a lot of nice little things about these reverse dyes, reverse tie-dye, bleach dye, that just make it less work than like a full-blown liquid tie-dye. First, it's super inexpensive. You know, you might already have bleach and hydrogen peroxide, and then all you need is a shirt mostly. There's no soda ash involved, so you don't have to prep this for 20 minutes before you can start the dyeing process. And probably my favorite part is that the shirt is wearable today. So there's not a big turnaround time because this doesn't have to cure for 24 hours. But enough yakking. Here's how it looks. Let's get it open. Okay, at first glance, I say this looks killer. This is about the amount of orange that I was hoping for. Maybe a tiny bit more, but it's definitely not undersaturated. So let me get it all the way popped open and then we'll get a real good look at it. Okay, I think I nailed it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that baking show. It started from a meme where people try and emulate something that they see in like the baking world, and if it turns out they nailed it, right? But it mostly doesn't. This looks great. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You can see sort of the idea. This is the, I guess you could say, the body of the spider. Sorry if you're not a spider person. This is like legs of the spider. Let's take a look at the back. Much darker on the back because we only did dye that one side. So maybe a little more bleach would have been in order, but honestly it's the front that's really sort of the showcase of what this folding method can get you. Super easy. I think this looks great. I am going to put it through a wash and then we will do some final photos. And thank you so much for watching another one of these videos. If you thought it was cool, if you wouldn't mind, hit the thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you on the next video.